Good morning. It's Ray here with Easy Simple Mechanics. Um, Listen, this episode, we actually took the stuff off the old frame that was under the truck. We went ahead and pulled the brake lines off. We pulled the front suspension stuff off. We went ahead and cut the frame with a Sawzall so that we could get it out of the way and do some cleaning underneath the vehicle so that we can start trying to get it really clean under there and get that mud and rust and everything else off from underneath the vehicle before we go back with the new frame. So it looks like we're gonna have a nice day today, so we're gonna get started. We'll probably do some power washing and things like that. So on this episode, first of all, we're probably gonna show you what we did yesterday or catch you up on that, and then we're going to go ahead and get started today and try and get some washing done and get things ready to go back up in the vehicle. So I hope you guys really get to appreciate the effort that's gone into this. But in reality, it seemed like it was going to be a little more challenging. It is a little tough to figure stuff out, but once you get it going, it looks like it's going to be okay. We recently went through some storms here, and things seem to stay up pretty good. So I'm confident that things are going to be fine. Things won't fall on the ground and stuff like that. So I think we're getting to the point where the rough stuff is over, and now we're going to get into some of the better stuff. So thank you for watching, and please enjoy the episode. Thank you. Hey, so we're back. I just wanted to show you a quick update here. We've already gone ahead and moved the stuff off of the old frame that was here, and we've got the lines and distributor and some of the stuff back on the frame here. We did take off the suspension, and we've got it sitting here, the front suspension. So today we're gonna try and get it outside, get it cleaned up, wash it up. Did take and took the power washer to the mud and stuff that we've got under here. So a lot of that came off. We still got a little bit more to do there. So I'm gonna try and get that with a brush and get some of the rest of that mud off. We cleaned most of that off. There's still a little bit. We don't want stuff rusting up. And then I'm gonna spray some acid on it to keep it from corroding anymore. We cleaned this up on this side. Let's see how we did on this side. It was kind of dark when I did that, so we've got that mud kind of off of there. It looks like rust, but it really is just caked on mud there, so I'll get that off with a brush as well. We got a little mud on top of the catalytic converter to get off. I did have to put this jack stand back under there because with that wood wet, I didn't want it to fall down if it got too soft under there. But yeah, so we got this thing all washed up, got this ready to go. And so here in a little bit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish cleaning up under there, getting the rest of that mud off, and I'm gonna get some acid on stuff, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get the new frame underneath it so that I can start putting and then clean up the front suspension, the front drive axles, and clean all that up, and then we'll have it under there ready to start mounting that back into the frame before we push it on up there. So yeah, that's the next step. As you can see, we were able to pull it off and get the frame off. So now it's just try to get the reverse order in there I was gonna go ahead and make this repair on this fender support now, but I'm kind of in a time crunch now because silly neighbor went and turned me into code enforcement. So I've got just a few days to get all this buttoned up. So I'll probably wait and do that after the vehicle's running, so that if somebody asks if the truck moves or whatever, at least I'll have wheels under it and I can get that moved around. But yeah, so now I'm in a time crunch to get this done. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working at it, and hopefully I can get that done within the next few days. I do have a job, so it makes it a little difficult to spend the time, and the weather, you know, just depends on the weather. We had a storm come in last night. Good thing it was in the middle of the night. It came in, and by now it's dried up, so we're good to go this morning. Anyways, we'll just keep updating you all. I don't want to make this too long because I'm really anxious to get to work here. I'm only going to have a couple hours to work on it today, and then we'll have to hit it again maybe tomorrow evening, because I'm going to be going out of town today, so I won't have time to spend all day on this. So anyway, we'll keep you updated. At some point we might get a shop built over here so we can keep the neighbors from complaining. I do have a shop, but it's not here in where I live, so I don't get a lot of time to spend in it, so that's why I decided to do it here, where I could work on this as I get time. But I'm rambling on now, so we'll go ahead and leave it there for now. So we got this this stuff pressure washed, and we got that etching liquid on it, and I just wanted to show you, you know, kind of what the difference is. You see all the mud is off now, and all of that stuff that looked like rust is absolutely clean, and with that stuff on there, it should not rust anymore than, you know, is on the surface there. But you can see how well this stuff works, and it's not that expensive. I think it's like $15 a gallon at Home Depot, and all you have to do is when you're getting the rust off, you spray it concentrated 100%, and then when you rinse it all off and you get all the rust off as much as you can. You can see this these mounts that were all rusted up, they're now not too bad, and you can see all the mud and rust stuff has kind of come off of there, off the catalytic converters and everything else. I just couldn't see leaving all that dirt and rust on there, but as you can see, that did a pretty good job. Then you use it at full concentration, you get all the rust off, then you rinse it off. Once you got it rinsed off and it's still wet, you dilute it to a quarter, in other words 1/4 of the concentrate and the rest with water, and you spray that on there to ensure that it stays on. But you got to do it when it's wet. If you do it when it's dry, it's not going to stay. It'll still rust. And you can see here, I got this thing going pretty good. That was that motor mount bracket that was on the engine and the axle that were really looking real bad as far as rusted. Hopefully we've been able to stop that rust, and you can see there that stuff is working. But we're gonna leave it that way because that's gonna be what protects it from getting all rusted up again. So that's what it is right there. Yeah, so now we're gonna go ahead and take the frame. We're gonna make some room here in the garage. We're gonna take the frame and slide it inside the garage, then slide it over and then we're gonna shove it underneath there. When we get it under there and we have it here in front, that'll give me some room to pull that axle, that front axle out, differential and everything, bring it out in the drive, and then we can wash it up and use some of that stuff on the rusty pieces over there. And then we'll get all that cleaned up. We'll get that mounted on the shock towers and everything else. We'll get the upper A-frames on, and once we get that kind of situated, then we'll go ahead and raise this thing up and bolt it to the cab. In the meantime, all this stuff will dry up. You want to be careful you don't get water where you don't want it. For example, here I had some baggies covering the oil hoses, and to make sure that we didn't get any moisture inside there while we're spraying, and the AC hoses here, I went ahead and covered them up. I put this plastic up on top just to make sure we didn't get anything up on top wet that could cause us some problems in the future. So yeah, so this coming along little by little. We should be moving along. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I didn't know if I was going to get all that rust off, and I thought, man, I think I may have to get some new exhaust, but no, I think that's going to work out fine. Because as you know, that stuff isn't cheap, especially for these things. So yeah, I did have a couple of cab mounts that were bent that I noticed, and that's probably what caused some of this shifting on the doors here. But right here we had these two I had to replace. Let's see, that one right there, and I had to replace this one here. So I ran and got some of those. I also, on this one here, I also sprayed some of that stuff on the areas that looked like they were starting to get some surface rust, just to make sure that we don't have that issue going forward. And so yeah, we're going at it. So I guess that'll be it for this one. I'm gonna have to get ready because we're going out of town for the day, and we'll be back tomorrow afternoon, but we'll get back on this. But for now, I'm gonna try and just get that frame under there so it gives me some room in my driveway, and then we'll go ahead and pack it up for the day. So thanks for watching. Well, folks, it looks like that's gonna do it for this episode. We got a lot done today. We got things washed underneath there. We scrubbed a lot, got a lot of the mud off, got a lot of the rust off, and that's in prep for trying to get the new frame pulled underneath there, and then we can start putting the suspension from the old frame onto the new frame, and then start building from there. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope that you guys keep watching. It really is fun to get to share this with y'all. So please like, share, subscribe, and please comment. That kind of helps out the channel. I've got some other thoughts coming on some other things that are happening, so hopefully we're gonna have some good content to come after this build. So if I can keep doing this, I'll keep doing it. If it starts to get to where it doesn't really isn't gonna make it, then we might have to cut it out. But I really have some good content coming, I think, that you all are gonna enjoy if you appreciate vehicles. I'll tell you more about that later on. I'm pretty excited about the opportunity. So we'll see what the next build brings. But for now, I'm just focused on trying to get this one done and get it on the road so that we'll have a vehicle that we can use and make it something that I've always wanted for some time now. So let's go ahead and cut it out here. And again, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.